Yes, yes. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in. I have a very special guest tonight for the Don't Listen podcast. And for all of you, yes, we getting on a serious note. Not a music artist, not a what can I say? Like I don't know, somebody y'all used to seeing. This is new. We getting into a little better aura, better spot today, okay? I would like to thank you all for joining us. We are on Spotify. Follow us on there. We are on iHeartRadio. Follow us on there. We are on video form on Spotify as well, YouTube and Rumble. Make sure you come by and check us out. We are in the mix, and I'm definitely in the mix with a good person today. Oh, yeah, I got a very special guest, and she's a teacher, and I'll let her get into the particulars of that. But, yes, we're going to get in the mix. My special guest today is Miss Cheryl Wynn.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
And I just have a few questions for her, and I would like y'all to get to know her and what she got going on. And how about you start out by telling us about where you from and what part of the city you represent and what school you teaching at.
All righty. I am from Camden, New Jersey, born and raised, East
Absolutely.
Camden, class of 1991, Woodrow Wilson. East side, baby, east side, east side.
So we got East Camden in the building, Camden resident, and she is giving back to her community by being a very integral part of the community. I would say one of the most important fields and most important people that we have today, because a lot of people ain't built for this, Miss Wynn. You know what I mean?
Not easy.
It's not easy. I know what you're talking about. So, you know, I know you're a teacher and everything. So what happened in your life that make you want to become a teacher?
Well, actually, Mr. Perry, to be honest with you, I didn't want to be a teacher.
No? Okay.
I wanted to be an MC.
MC?
I wanted to hold the mic. I wanted to be on stage, live on stage. So I was always more geared into wanting to be an MC, an actress, on Broadway,
right?
Those type of things. But I wound up teaching.
Hey. You definitely have that personality. Your personality is very like outgoing and like I love your energy. Your energy is just like I'm ready for whatever. So I think if you chose to do that, I think that would have been an amazing thing to do, and I think you would have did well in it because of your personality. I think you're very outgoing. I think that would have fit you perfectly. So, yeah, I think you definitely got that. So, you wanted to do the acting. You wanted to be an MC.
Yes.
You know what? Well, how long have you been teaching, and what continues to give you the drive to teach today?
Okay. I started working with the Board of Education October 1992. I was 19.
Wow.
So when I began, I was an instructional assistant. Now they're called paraprofessionals. Okay. But when I started, we were called instructional assistants. And I didn't choose to go to college until the teacher I worked with, she said, Miss Wynn, go pick up my pay stub from the office. Me being me, of course, I'm nosy. Nosy Miss Wynn and everybody. I want to know. I looked at the pay stub, and this was probably in 1994. And I
Mhm.
saw the pay, and they already took out her car payment. I said, wait a minute. I'm going to college.
Right.
I wound up going to college. I said, wait a minute. I said, this is some money compared to what I was making as a parent,
Right.
as an instructional assistant and doing hair on the side. So, hey, I saw that check. That money was the motivation.
All right. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. Money is a motivator for most things in life, right?
Hey, hey.
And what's the point of doing something if you ain't getting paid, right?
And I was already almost fulfilling that role as a teacher, working with that teacher in the classroom.
Okay.
Because I guess she saw that in me.
Okay.
So I did that for 10 years while I attended Rowan University full time. Yes, I'm from the hood, but I came out with honors.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you came out with honors. So when I tell my students, I expect nothing from you but the best, and I have high expectations, it's because
Right.
I had them for myself.
Absolutely.
I can't expect you to do something if I didn't do it.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. Not in my book.
And you know it could be done because you did it yourself.
Hello.
Right. So y'all hear that, good people?
From the hood, worked full time, went to school full time, and partied part time.
Right. We got to find a place to change that monotony up. It can't
You
just
have to
all be
party.
about work and
You
school.
have to
Gotta have a little
party.
play
It
involved, a
keeps you
little
young.
party. Yeah.
Yes, it keeps you young, sir.
Right.
Yes, I did that for 10 years. And I received my degree in psychology. And I've been working with the board. I've been teaching for 21 years. So I've been with the board for a total of 31 years.
Wow.
Coming up in October.
That's
So
my
yeah.
birthday month. So
Oh,
congratulations.
yes.
I mean,
Yes.
31 years, that's amazing. That's
Yeah.
a great accomplishment for yourself and just amazing just because I would say this, right? When I was in school,
Yes.
just meeting you, Miss Opal, Miss Platt, and quite a few of the other teachers there, like the motivation that I see y'all have, especially when we was doing like the online classes
Yes.
for COVID, the motivation, the way y'all teach, and it was something that was definitely missing when I was in school. And it made me so like happy for my son to be around people with such great energy. And I was like, wow, I wish I had this because it seemed like when I was going to school, like the teachers were a little burnt out. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like
Yes.
they looked like they wanted to be there, but soon something happened in that classroom. It was like,
Done.
right.
It's done.
So with that being said, how hard is it not to get that feeling of burnout or just
Don't
not
feel like
very
going.
excited about going to work for that day?
Well, Mr. Perry, you're going to always have days when you get up and you just say, not today, not
Right.
today. And if your mind and body is telling you not today, don't go.
Right.
Because if you do go, your energy isn't right. If your energy isn't right and you're in charge of the classroom, all the energy in the classroom will be disrupted because of your energy. So when you're going into that classroom, you better be ready to teach because your students know.
Right.
They know who teach and who don't teach. Oh, they know. So it's days, Mr. Perry, when I feel as though that my mind is not right, I don't go. I don't go.
Right.
I just, the kids are better off letting me get it together than me coming in with energy that can have them confused or wondering like, well, what's wrong with Miss Wynn? Miss Wynn is in pain. Why isn't Miss Wynn laughing? Why isn't she humming? Why isn't she smiling or being her usual self?
Right.
We're human. We're not robots. We have emotions. So if you're not
Absolutely.
feeling it, don't go.
Right.
You'll be doing your students a favor. And then you'll catch them up the next day because you'll be ready and revved up and ready to teach the future. See, I see the kids as
Absolutely.
yeah, the future. Yeah.
And that's why I think your job in particular is like one of the most important jobs because of the preparedness you are getting the kids ready, because we all it's a rotating door, right? We
It
gonna
is.
reach a certain age and we ain't gonna be able to do it no more. And
Yes.
no matter what field you go into, right? So we are preparing the kids for the future to basically take our spots, right?
Yes.
So I think the job that you have is the most important to me, the most, because you're getting people ready to lead this country, lead this community, lead the people into the next century. So with that being said, I think your job should be one of the most paid jobs.
That would be nice.
Right. That's why I'm saying it, right? I'm throwing that out there in the ether, right? I think teachers should be the most paid, if not, in the top 5 or whatever in somebody's list. They should be the most paid because they are preparing this country to move forward and the communities to move forward.
Well, Mr. Perry, let's be honest. I don't mean to cut you off. Let's be honest. All teachers don't teach.
That's a fact.
All teachers don't care.
Right.
Some do, some don't.
Right.
I know sitting a student in front of a computer all day or testing the kids all the time with state tests. Do you actually think that's preparing our kids for the future? Think about that.
Right. Because most things is more than just remembering what you wrote in school, right? Or remembering what the curriculum is. It's things outside of the classroom, like what you guys teach, life skills.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Life skills is a part and should be a part of all curriculum, right?
Yes.
And make it more than just about remembering what's in the textbook or remembering what somebody told you. And then testing. Everybody ain't the same. So why is everybody forced to do a test? You know what I'm saying? We're all not the same. And we all learn differently. So why everybody is forced the same curriculum? I get it. Oh, I get it, Miss Wynn.
I know you do. I know you do.
Right. I get it. School is getting ready to start. What are you most looking forward to in the coming year?
Meeting my new students and seeing my students from last year. Yes, yes. I go to work for my students. I don't go to make friends with other teachers and go visit people. No, I'm not there for that. Right. I'm there for the kids.
Absolutely. I see that. I noticed that. That's why you was.
I'm
I
here.
reached out to you because I know what type of time. I know what type of time you on, and I know you care. I know you care. That's why. Yeah, I was
And the
like, I'm
kids
called
know
Miss.
I care. They know.
Right.
They know I care.
Oh, I know Miss Wynn. My son told me you one of the favorite places that he go to when he come to school.
Oh,
So
Terrence, yes,
yeah, he
yes,
told me that. He
Terrence.
said I really enjoy Miss Wynn class, and that's why I reached out to you because I figured if my son feel that way about you and I feel that way about you, just from the limited conversations that we had, I already know who I need to call and reach out to when I want to talk to a teacher. Call
Thank
him Ms.
you.
Wynn.
Thank
You
you,
know what I
Mr.
mean?
Perry. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, I got another question for you.
Yes,
You teach kids with special needs.
yes.
What in particular gave you the drive to get into that part of teaching kids with
Well,
special needs?
well, I went to school for psychology
Mm-hmm.
and teaching children with special needs is roundabout learn what you learn in psychology when you take educational psych, child development, adolescent development, and me wanting to be a counselor at first, but then I realized you had to get your master's. That's another 30,000. You only be making like 5,000 more. What's the point of wasting 25,000? You're not even gonna be making that much. Common sense.
Right.
Common sense.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I'll use what I learned in psych in the classroom. So the first 15 years of me teaching, I taught children with behavioral disabilities.
Okay.
So I taught the ones that nobody else wanted to teach. And I told them year after year after year after year after year, because it takes one to know one.
Right.
Have it passed. Right?
Right. Absolutely.
Whoa.
Absolutely.
Whoa. So I could relate. I could
Right.
definitely relate to the anger issues. I can relate to the anxieties, and I can definitely relate. Miss Wynn can relate.
Right.
So I did that. I did that for quite a while until I began teaching at Woodrow Wilson, which is now Eastside High.
Right. Right.
So that's when I stopped teaching strictly behavioral students.
Okay.
Even though the students that I do get, I can tell if they were in a behavior classroom prior. Oh, they show me all the signs. I know. Oh, I know. But in high school, and well, at our particular school, Eastside High, we don't have a BD program. So there was no placement for me as a BD teacher because I thought when I first went to Wilson, oh, I'm running BD. They said there's no BD here. I said, so what am I doing? Why am I here? Hey, I'm the math teacher. Whoa. And
Right.
skills. So that's what I'm doing.
And you got in where you fit in, right?
Yes. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love teaching in Camden. I really do. I really do. Because Mr. Perry, when I walk down those hallways, I had flashbacks of 1988, hanging with my girls, my GIP posse, going to the pep rallies, going to the dances, seeing Steady B, Cool C, all the above.
Yeah.
So I was that female.
Right.
I was at the parties.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the parties.
Right.
Yes. So I always liked having a good time, Mr. Perry. Everything in life should be fun.
Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely. And this is my play right here, right? I work, I do what I gotta do as far as that, but this is my time. This is why I like talking to people and finding out about what they got going on and putting it out for the people to see because I think everybody should see where there is possibility. Like that's why I wanted to bring on a person like you with so much great energy to energize maybe somebody watching this and be like, I'm like her. I
See?
want to be
Yes.
like her. And I
Yes.
might want to do this. I
Yes.
want to teach, so that's why I like bringing people to the forefront, not just talk about sports all the time, talk about and talk to people and let
Yes.
them
Sounds
see
good.
different professions. And it's great. We got some people coming up that we're going to have on, and I'm going to bring to the people. I'm bringing out qualified people and people that can actually give people good knowledge and see if it's something that they want to do, So
Sounds
I
good.
appreciate you coming on again. Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the curriculum that you teach so people could know exactly what it is that you do?
Well, when it comes to the life skills program,
Mm-hmm.
Camden doesn't really have a curriculum for that, but they're creating one. It's in
Oh,
the
okay.
bookworks. They're creating. So with me, I like to gear towards things I know that they can use, like telling time. Yes, I know a lot of things are digital, but what if you don't have a digital watch or a clock?
Right.
You need to know how to use an analog clock.
Absolutely.
That's a third grade skill. Come on.
Right.
What happened? So I teach how to use the analog clock. I even teach, do you know I teach my 17 and 16 and 18-year-old students how to write cursive, and I teach math? If you get done early, practice your cursive. You should know how to write a signature.
Right.
Come
Absolutely.
on. Signing a check.
Sign the check. Yes. Right.
Even though now on the computer you go do 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 do, but what if something goes wrong? What if the computers break down? What if something go on with the technology? Then our kids today are lost.
Right.
Not my students. Because I still use a chalkboard and chalk when I teach in my classroom.
All right. All right.
I'm old school.
And there
So
ain't
I
nothing
teach
wrong
things
with
like
old
that.
school.
Analog clocks. I teach about personal hygiene. I like to come to work looking presentable, dressed, hair done. Hey, it doesn't matter where you come from. You can go to school looking presentable. You don't have to have this name brand, that. No. No, even if you don't have if you have the bare minimums, you still can get yourself together and try to come to school presentable.
Right.
And I try to lead and show my students that I take pride in myself, in my classroom, and I
Right.
take pride in them.
Mm-hmm. The best way to lead is by example. Mm-hmm.
And I show my students that I have initiative. Do you know that every morning I get to school, it's not a part of my job, it's not a part of the curriculum. Do you know that I clean the staff break room so that my co-workers can have somewhere clean to eat their lunch every single day? Because maintenance, we don't have enough. So should a room be dirty because maintenance can't clean it? Or should somebody take the initiative, be like, hey, if I was eating lunch in here, I would want it to be a clean environment.
Right.
So that's what I do. And I don't even eat lunch in the break room, Mr. Perry. I do it for my coworkers. They deserve to have somewhere decent and clean to eat and to relax and unwind. It's not about how much I'm getting or am I supposed to do this? Not a part of my pay grade. I'm not hired. Hey, it's a lot of things you're not going to be hired to do, but show initiative.
Right.
How can I teach you that if I don't have it? If I don't clean my own classroom, if my room is filthy, how can I talk to you about personal hygiene?
Right.
Come on. Come on.
Right.
What you see is what you get when it comes to me. So
I know every time I see you be out here fly, you be dressed to kill. So I already know the deal.
I be trying. I just want the kids to know. Take pride. Take pride in yourself.
Right.
Take pride. You don't have to be flashy. Just take pride. Comb your hair, brush it, brush your teeth.
Right.
Take pride, care, because others around you are affected if you don't do so.
Right. They emulate what they
You know,
see.
that's
They emulate,
true.
yeah, and it's easy to take that route, especially if you have like a follower mentality. You just
Yes.
see what you see and you do that, right? I
Yes.
think that's part of the problem today where there's so many mixed messages out here, what they get from TV, what they get from
Yes.
the internet.
Yes.
They don't really know unless somebody's specifically guiding them.
And you
And
have
who
to do that.
right. And who best to do it other than the people that see the kids the most, which would be the teachers, right? Because the parents working and they come home, they
Yes.
got to do this. So that's
They're
why
tired.
another reason why I say the teachers are the most important people in our society is because just the amount of time they spend with your child other than the parents, right?
Yes.
Y'all like an extension of us. And then in most cases, and in a lot of cases, you are probably the best part of their day because they don't get to see their parents as much as they get to see you.
Because parents are working. You
They
are definitely
working and
correct.
right. So with that being said, in your opinion, is there anything that parents of the kids can do to help out better in the classroom?
Reinforce what your child is learning. If your child is coming home talking about they're learning about money, counting money, get your jar change out. Get out the pennies, get out the quarters. Let
Right.
them count the money up for you. See what they don't know.
Right.
Have them read something from a magazine or something online to you so you can know what your child is missing. It's your child, right?
Right.
It's
Right.
it's your child.
Right.
So how don't you know what they don't know if it's your child and they live with you in your household? Come on. Come
Either
on.
that or you're just not answering the
Come on.
questions. Gotta
Come
ask
on.
the questions.
Come.
Right.
And
That's
half the time, the kids don't even want that new game. Guess what they want? They want mom and dad to talk to them. They want them to ask them, how was their day? Oh, they try to be tough, act like it don't matter, but it matters. Trust me.
I know. I
Because I
know.
spend the first 10 minutes talking and discussing how was your weekend? How is everything? How is everything going? Did y'all win? Did you win the game y'all were playing?
Right.
That's what they want. Interaction. They
Right.
want that. It's not about give me this. They want you.
Mm,
That's what they want.
right. That's facts. I mean, I know it because I know what my son say to me when I don't see me for a few days or
He miss you.
yeah. I know what it is, and I know that's what I missed when I was coming up. So
Our
it's
parents
it's,
have to
it's
work. They had to work.
absolutely
So,
all right. What has been the most change you see in the kids over the years?
hmm. Well, the kids I work with now is much different than my students that when I first started teaching,
Mhm.
I've been called so many names, and these were little elementary kids. Some of the things I've been called, some of the things that I've been through with my students, their parents. It was rough. It was rough. But I'm learning now that I teach high school. If they come in your room, they want to learn. They may put up that exterior like, man, get up on man. Man, no, it's not real. They want to learn because they walk through the door.
Right. If you ain't want to be in there, you wouldn't
you would have cut. So why are you here? You know I'm teaching. You know I'm teaching.
Right.
The kids, when they're older, they'll come. If they want to learn, even though they kind of, they in that battle between trying to be popular, being the class clown, being, trying to, they want to learn. They do. Right. They really, really do. Right. They want to learn. And if they know you're serious and they believe that you know what you're talking about, they will pay attention.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. They will pay attention.
Because I definitely had some teachers that I still remember to this day that made an impact on my life. So I know what you're saying is true. And all you need to do sometimes is just tell that kid that and show that kid that you care about where they going.
Yes.
And they be the ones that be sitting there like this.
And you know what, Mr. Perry? It's not easy when your child comes home with homework that you may don't understand. It may have been a long time ago. And you like, then you pay attention. But guess what? Do you know if your child had someone to actually model that for them? Or were they just sitting at a computer looking at a screen? How do you know? Was somebody actually taking the time to model what they're teaching, asking questions, being patient, giving your child enough time to answer the question?
Right. And that goes to what we were saying earlier. All kids learn differently. So
yes. And it's not, I know you want to be like, hurry the fuck up. I know you want to get worked up. I know you want to be like, the answer is this. Hurry, give me your homework so I can do it. That's not helping. Parents, stop doing your children's homework. It's not helping.
Right.
That's why I'm not really a big fan of homework. I need to know what you can do in front of me in the classroom. When you come to my Algebra 2 class in geometry, you need to show me. I need you at the chalkboard. Tell me why. Why?
Right.
Why is it a negative? But why? Why isn't it a positive? Why?
Right.
But why?
Right.
Have to ask why. Because if you could tell me why, then you got it.
Right.
You got it. You got it. You can tell me.
Right.
All right.
You testing what you giving them.
Throughout.
Right.
Throughout. We could be doing something else, and I'll come around and look at you and say, what's the square root of 169? He'd be like, what? This one, what? I'm like 13. I'm like, gotcha. Thank you. Right. Next question. Anyway, then I'll go on to teaching. Hey, I need to know. Are you looking over your notes, young man and young lady? I'm a note teacher. You better take those notes from that anchor chart. Yes.
Right.
So,
That's amazing because I like I said, when I was coming up, we had teachers that I felt they were a little burnt out, especially once I got to high school. So
yes,
the one that I do remember, the way she used to get us motivated is this. You remind me a lot of her because just the tenacity in which you speak and just convey your message, like it's a whole thing. Right. And you remind me so much of her because the motivation she used to give me was just when she come in that room, she smile and she turn around to the class. Hey, we ready to do this. And just the energy, the way she.
Yes, Mr. Perry.
Yeah, the kids be ready for that. That's what they want to see. They don't want to say, all right, take your book bags out. take this out. They
Yes.
don't want to see that. They want to see
Yes.
excitement, and they want to be excited when they come to school. That's what make them want to be there, right?
And even Mr. Perry, you have the ones that act like I'm too old for this. I'm too old for you to be making songs out of rules. But when I do that beat, you could tell me the rule, can't you? So evidently those songs work, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the kids remember now? All music, right? All the
Yep.
music that they
It's a
listening to.
beat.
So if you
It's a
play to
beat.
that,
Yes.
that's a form of teaching, and the
That's
fact
what I
that you know
teach.
that, you know
Yes.
that.
Beats. Know your audience. Know
Right.
now that's another thing. A lot of teachers, they don't pay attention to the audience. You can't stand at no smart board or at a blackboard or wherever how you teach, and 90% of your class is out of control and 10% is paying attention. Hey, who are you teaching?
Nobody.
I don't care what you do, but when you come through my classroom door, oh, you will learn and you will respect my classroom. Oh,
I know that's
right. You have no choice. No.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't have a choice.
Right.
See, that's what's wrong with a lot of the kids today.
Right.
They have no boundaries.
Yes. We are back, and I am with Miss Cheryl Wynn, starting to become one of, I think, my favorite teacher. And I ain't even have her teaching me, but she's easily becoming my favorite teacher. Okay, Miss Wynn. So let's get back to it. What is the most rewarding thing for you about teaching?
Mr. Perry, when you're constantly going over a skill and you're doing the repetitions with it, and maybe next week you go back to that skill and you see the light in your students' eyes that's telling you, I know it. The confidence in their body language that lets you know as a teacher, they got it. That's the most rewarding feeling I get, is when I know my big babies are learning. Now, I call them big babies because I am 50. So they're babies to me. So that's how I see them. But when I see, and I could see it in their eyes, and they look at me like, that was right, that's it? Like, that's all I had to do? Yes! You got it. Hello? Right. When I ask my life skill kids, if I had 8 quarters, how much will I have? And they say $2. That right there make me have so much excitement in me. I just explode with joy, and they know it. I give high fives out. I'm feeling good. The kids are feeling good. I'm pumped up. They're pumped up. Right. That's most rewarding to me, is when you learn. That's the best. That's the best gift you can give me, is when you're learning from what I'm teaching you. Right. That's the best gift ever. Right. Yeah, I'm serious about that. That makes my heart flutter, because I know I'm teaching, they're learning. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm making a difference. Absolutely. I'm making a difference. Me. Mm-hmm. I'm making a difference. And Mr. Perry, I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm not ashamed. My own family and mother thought my career would be me ending up in prison. Ending up in prison. People that know me from the past, how you become a teacher? You a teacher? Yes, I am a teacher. Yes, I got it together. Yes, I was saved. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes me feel like I'm on cloud 9 because I can see it. I can see it. I can
Right.
see it in their eyes. They sit there, they sit up straight, they feeling good. You see the pride. You can see the pride in your student's face. They were
Right.
like, I knew that. Yes, you did. I do
Right.
teach. So I expect you to know it.
Right.
That's the
Right.
most rewarding. That's the most rewarding is when you've learned.
Right.
I'm ready to give out treats. I want to give out rewards. I'm like, is there something on Amazon you wanted to get? What's
Right.
up? This one got you.
Right.
Not you. What? That's the most rewarding thing is when they learn, oh my God, Mr. Perry, the feeling of your students learning it and able to tell you, explain to someone else. Oh, that's the best. Oh, that's a good feeling, Mr. Perry. Oh, that's a good feeling.
I see. I mean, this is what I mean by
I get worked up.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. That's positive energy, right?
I get worked up. I'm like, yes.
And what they say about positive energy, right?
It's contagious.
Right. And it activates constant elevation, right?
Yes, it does.
And that's what you do. That's what you do. And the job that you do is activate constant elevation in the kids. And like I said, your excitement and your enthusiasm, it's contagious. Absolutely. And yeah, I love it. I love the energy. All right. What, in your opinion, is needed for teachers to become more successful in the classroom?
I think that teachers should have one day out of the month that we come together and express what we're going through in our particular classrooms. It's not always about what we're doing in that curriculum. What about the mental health? Mental health is the most needed aspect in the teachers. Like you need mental health because the things you have to deal with on a regular basis and keep it together so you don't snap because someone pushed you over the edge and you have to remember where you are. See, they don't teach you how to become professional in college. Oh, they don't teach you that. They just teach you the theories.
Right.
They teach the curriculum, but they don't teach you how to get through it. They don't teach that. Oh, they don't teach that, Mr. Perry.
Right.
They don't teach it.
Right.
That comes within. That comes within. That's like that soul searching you have to do on your own because it could be really tough. So one day out of the month for teachers just to let other coworkers know, but this is what I'm going through. This is how I've been feeling. What can I do better? What can I do to keep myself together in front of my students?
Right.
I think that's most needed. I think a day just to reflect, even if they hire maybe a group of masseuses that could come and have spa days for the teacher. You get a massage. You talk about what you're going through, what's going on in the building. Things like that. It's not always about what the kids are learning or what tests you got to give. We're humans. We're not robots.
Right.
We have emotions.
Right.
And we have to
Absolutely.
deal with this. Come on.
Right.
I'm
That's a fact.
human.
That's in every aspect of life, right? And
Yes.
especially in our community, the Black community,
Yes.
it's like shunned upon to go get help or finding somebody you could talk to other than your own family. Sometimes
Yes.
you're not going to get the answers you need from your own family members
Nope.
because you ain't going to want to tell them exactly what's going on with you.
That's right.
And a lot of people use information you give them
Against you.
against you, right? So I get it. I mean, mental health is very
It's
important.
serious.
I would advise anybody, if you need to talk to somebody, find you somebody that can help you, a licensed therapist
Yes.
or a social worker,
Yes.
guidance counselors, right? Fill that
Nothing
role,
wrong
right?
with that.
So
You have
we
to.
we we definitely advise mental health on this platform.
You
If you
need
need
it.
it, go out there and get the help you need, right?
Yeah, it's really needed. And that's how come a lot of teachers get burnt out. They wind up
Right.
snapping, leaving out in ambulances. Come on. You
Right.
retire. The next 2 years, you dead. No, no, no,
Right.
no. Mental health is really, really needed. It's really needed. It's not easy. But all those
Right.
different personalities, and everybody coming in with different baggage. You don't know what they went through. You don't know what they just experienced. You don't know.
Right. That's a fact, Miss Wynn, and that's another a salute for you just to have to deal with all these different personalities and all these problems that the kids
And you
bring.
have to.
Right.
You can't just brush it off. I don't have time for that. What? Then your whole classroom is going to be in an uproar. You better make time for it.
Right. And then you never know that little thing you say to a kid can help them get through the day, not only in the
Yes.
school, but when they get home, because
Yes.
they might needed that little
Yes.
nudge in the back to say, hey, you got it, you know. And that's the other thing. This is why I say the teachers should be the one of the most paid professions in any job. They should be the most paid because all the stuff y'all got to deal with. Like,
It's a lot, Mr. Perry.
I know it is.
It's a lot.
And just from what you said, like y'all need a day to
You
just
really
talk
do.
amongst each other, and
Yes. No
it's
judgment.
right.
None.
It should happen. It should happen, and as
It's
most,
really
like I
needed.
said, very underappreciated because a lot of people send they cook kids to school uh for babysitting, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's not conducive for the child. It's not conducive for the people in the
It's
school.
not. It's
You
not. Or
know,
our future. Or
right,
our future.
right. I mean, you want your kid to go out the door thinking that they gonna learn something,
Yes,
and
they can do it.
a lot of people unfortunately use the school just for babysitting. I'm not one of those parents, but I like I said, I give
Many
all the
do.
teachers a pat on the back just for
They
that
do.
reason. Like y'all deal with a whole lot, and that's why I wanted to talk to you, and get a feel for what's going on in the school and the class, and let's see what we got going on, right? And let's talk about it. That's what we're doing now, right? So
Yes.
this is a part of it, and letting the parents know, the people that do watch it, and let them see what a real teacher is dealing with, and what's
Not
going
easy.
on in the classroom, right?
Not
So
easy.
with that being said, what in your opinion is the most need or necessity for a child today in the classroom?
Honestly, I am old fashioned. Mr. Perry, when they took discipline out of schools,
Mm,
They really messed it up.
Right.
They really messed it up. Now, even during the time when we were in school, they started changing everything, but your parents can give your teacher the permission to
Oh yeah.
discipline you.
I
And my
remember.
daddy did give the permission for me to be disciplined.
Right.
You need discipline. Mr.
Right.
Perry, not only do we need discipline, but you need to be consistent. If you're in charge and you're telling a group of students, your student body something, they should be able to trust what you're telling them.
Right.
If you tell the kids, well, everyone that came for state testing and didn't miss any days, you will get rewarded. And you give them these dates, but the reward never happens. But then all of a sudden, it's this reward and everyone is free to go. Really?
That's the
So
reward.
really? So the kids that did what they were supposed to do are now being rewarded with kids that didn't? There's something wrong with that picture. Consistency and discipline is the key to not only in a classroom, but in a home.
Right.
If you say it, mean it.
Right.
Because I'm not going to say something to you that I don't mean. If I tell you it, oh, you best believe I'm going to do it.
Right.
Because I'm consistent.
Mm-hmm. I saw that too. That's why you're here today, right? You say, yeah, I'll do it, Mr. Perry. And I'm like, your word is everything, right?
It is. And kids know.
Mm-hmm. When we came up with what's called your word is your bond, right?
Yes. My word is my bond. Truth. Yup.
That's how we came up. And I tried to live that to the fullest extent and try to impart that on my sons and let them know, like, whatever you say, you got to say whatever you say. You got to do that. That really means something to people, and that's how people can trust in the words that you say. Because if you doing what you say you're gonna do, can't nobody say nothing bad about it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. You have
and being consistent is very important because they know how you gonna come.
Yeah. Kids know.
Right.
Like, you go in certain classrooms and they'll be like, well, they do this in my room because you allow it. You have to have this. It has to be rules, it's discipline. You have to be consistent on what you want from your students. Hey, right. Absolutely. I expect you to use those brain cells. And you know what I tell? You know what I tell kids?
What's that?
I always tell them. The telephone that you use, a man created it. The calculator that you use, a man created it. Everything that you pretty much see, man made it. So guess what? That means our brains can do so much more that you can't even imagine.
Absolutely.
You can't imagine. I tell them, man created it, so that's letting you know man is brilliant.
Right.
You just got to tap into it.
Mm-hmm. Find out what you're good at. And,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
And run with it.
Right.
Be the best.
And if you don't try, you'll never know.
And guess what? Even if you fail, that's okay. You get back up and you redo it, but you do it better.
Right. Absolutely.
You change it up.
Mm-hmm.
You got to change it up.
That is a fact.
So discipline, consistency, and you know what else? What about shouting out the students that do come to school in uniform? What about letting everybody know how proud you are of your students? Why not shout out, oh, this person brought their grade average up, or this person hasn't been suspended in a month. If it's a child that's always getting always cutting or always getting suspended, announce when they're doing well. Give them love. Show some love.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Motivation.
important. Yes, come on.
Give them an incentive to want to come in that school and do the
Yes.
work.
And believe in themselves and know that they are the true future.
Absolutely. Because that's the thing, right? With everything that's being taught and all the stuff you get, the evil stuff you get from the TV, from
Negativity.
online. If they ain't
Yes.
getting something good from somewhere, people got to remember these are the people that's going to be controlling things in the future, and we gonna still be here, right?
Yes.
To deal with that, right? So if we ain't imparting something good on them, and we gonna have to deal with the fruits of our labor, right?
Yes, 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 yes. So whenever I go in a classroom, I'm always thinking, they're the future. I'm gonna be in a wheelchair somewhere, some nurse, who knows? Please give me the right medication. Please know how to measure it correctly. Please, please, please.
Right.
So if you have me as a teacher, you better best believe you're gonna learn. Because I know you are the future. Oh, and I want my future to look nice and bright.
Right. I know that's right.
Not dreary and miserable. No, no, no. So you start them. You start them when they little. You can do it. It's not easy, but it can be done.
Absolutely.
It can be done. Kids know when you care.
And all the motivation in the world should be for all of us to have a brighter future.
Yes.
So if we don't put into our kids what we want to have, we're going to have a pretty bleak future, right? So
yes,
people got to get it together. People got to get it together, and we that's what we want. We want a brighter future. So why not invest in our kids, right?
Hello. And I'm not talking about investing in a new pair of sneakers or a new PlayStation 5 game. I'm not talking about that investment.
Right.
Come on. Do you know
time is important, right?
Time is the most important.
You never get it back.
Things break. Things break. But time and your energy, that time will always be remembered in the back of your mind, even when you get old and you may start forgetting things, but you'll remember the past. And you're like, oh, yeah. And it come to your mind like, oh, I remember such and such. It's important. You got to give time. You got to give time to your students. You have to make time for your students. You have to. You have to. If you want to be a successful educator, and if you want to really make a difference in a community, you got to give your all to your babies. You got to give your all to your students. They have to know.
This is something I see that you're very passionate about, and I love that about you. And we are getting close to the end, Miss Wynn.
Okay.
We're getting close to the end.
I know I'm long-winded, everybody.
No, you ain't. Nah, this is beautiful stuff. The message that you're delivering, it should be heard and it should be felt. I could feel your presence coming through the screen talking to me. So I know it's real. I know it's authentic. And I see what you do. So it's no different than what I always saw from you. So I see the authenticity. I love that about you. And don't ever think it's long-winded. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. You know what I mean? And people that's watching it, they enjoying it, they understand the conversation, they gonna come back. So it's all whatever comes to your mind. That's what I always say to all my guests. Don't ever think you talking too long, because I'm a listener, right? And that's what we want the people to be that come to this podcast, to be a listener, absorb the knowledge, absorb the authentic words that's coming out of people's mouths, and that's what I want. I want a long-winded answer so people could take it all in, right? Absorb the Don't Listen podcast.
Yes, yes.
Absorb Miss Wynn.
Yes.
We are in the building. Stop playing.
Yes,
okay?
indeed. Yes, indeed.
Here we go. This is going to be the last question for you, okay?
All right.
Is there a message you want to relate to your kids and the parents for the upcoming school year?
Like I always say, it's on my classroom door. Patience is a virtue. You cannot teach without having patience. You can't. You can't. Slow it down. Know your audience, please. When a kid comes in the building and they walk in your classroom, they want to learn. Reach out to your kids. Know your audience so you could capture their attention. No. You have, the kids will tell you, Miss Wynn's an old OG from around the way. Yeah, I am.
Right.
But I made it, Mr. Perry.
Right.
I made it, Mr. Perry. I made it.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't easy, but I made it.
Right.
And I want them to know some of the things I did, and I got it together. They can also make it.
Right.
But you have to believe. You have to believe in your children. You have to believe in your students. You have to believe, because when you believe, they start believing.
Right. Absolutely.
So just teachers, September is coming. Believe in your students. Teach to your audience. You're not teaching yourself. You know it already. Teach to your audience. Because they are the future. And you better believe that and remember that. They will run the world one day.
Right.
So we either going to have a great future or a very bleak one. Take control of your households and take control of your classroom, because that's what our students and children need.
Right. Hey.
Well, and make sure it's fun. We can't leave the fun out, Mr. Perry. You gotta be some fun.
It gotta definitely be fun.
Fun.
It has to definitely be some fun. And this definitely was fun for me.
I really enjoyed it, Mr. Perry. I am so glad that you asked me to be on Don't Listen podcast. Yes.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way. And hey, you never know, I might give you a call again. You know,
holla, Mr. Perry, holla, Mr. Perry, holla, holla. Yes.
I definitely got your number, and I definitely will reach out to you again. I greatly appreciate your time. I hope all the people listening got the message. Ms. Wynn ain't out here playing. She for real. She loves her job. She loves her profession. And she loves her kids.
And I love cats.
Playing.
I love cats too.
Right. So this has been your Don't Listen podcast. Special guest in the building, Ms. Wynn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, everybody. Stand up, Camden. Holla.
Absolutely. We're going to send peace and blessings to you all. Peace to you on your journey. Stay safe out there on those evil streets.
Yes.
And like Bernie Mac said, don't get nothing on you. Stop playing.
Yes. Nice.
Deuces.
Thank you.
We are
Deuces.
out.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Enjoy your summer. Deuces. Bye.